Okay, so now the plumbing is going. Blah. And we're still trying to figure out how we're going to actually afford to rent everything that we need to move, such as a moving van or a something. Anyway, more geeks than gay. Edward. Now theme music.
There's no need to fear. Underdog is here.
Wiggly woggly, tiny whiny stuff.
Howdy. Feels weird. I feel like I should say welcome to More Geek Than Gay. This is Edward, but this doesn't feel like a More Geek Than Gay moment, even though I'm posting it to More Geek Than Gay, because it does relate to More Geek Than Gay. How many times can I say the name of the podcast in a row? But, you know that More Geek Than Gay is a weekly podcast, and yet, this last week there was no podcast posted. To be honest, just haven't been up to it. As I said before, our house was foreclosed on. We are pursuing legal action because it does look like at least was somewhat of a wrongful foreclosure, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm losing my house. This was the house that I lived in as a child. This was the house that my parents lived in all their, well, not all their lives, clearly. We're from Kansas and this is Phoenix, so not all their lives. But, this house has been part of my family for, 35 years? And now it will no longer be part of my family. You can, if you're watching this, you can see garbage bags filled with clothes behind me, over here, boxes. We're just packing up our world, and moving into a very nice townhouse that a very nice lady has decided to rent to us at a bitchin' price. It doesn't change the fact that this has been the farthest thing from my world. Everything has been the farthest thing from my world. It's actually painful to come home because I know that every minute that I'm home is another minute that I won't have this as my home. The house even seems to be sympathetic towards the whole thing. The trees in the yard, we're trying to take the plants with us, but we can't take the trees, clearly. We just don't have the time to try to figure out how to uproot them. The trees in our yard, the ones in the backyard have died. The ones in the front yard are looking kind of sad. Our plumbing is starting to back up all of a sudden for no reason. The refrigerator in the kitchen, it has an ice maker on it, and the ice maker had actually kind of died. And every once in a while, like every 3 months, it would produce ice that had charcoal in it because it had charcoal, it has a charcoal filter and everything. So it would produce this kind of gray ice, and then it would not make ice again. It would only do that once and then not make ice again for like 3 months. it suddenly has started making ice, and beautiful clear ice again, as if to say, please don't forget me, take me with you. So, and we're trying to assure her that, yes, our intention is to take you with us, don't worry. This is a painful situation. There probably won't be another podcast next week. There'll probably be another 2 weeks. And this one's even a day late for it being 2 weeks. But it'll probably be another 2 weeks before another podcast is done, just because we need to settle into our new place and I need to settle into my new life. I do want to quickly address one thing that's popped up, and that is people all in an uproar over DC Comics not letting the character Batwoman get married to her long-term fiance. Well, not really long-term, but they've been together for a while, and she proposed a while back. And there's many people, people are going, oh, and the writer and the artists that have been working on it and doing beautiful work on the series, they quit over the issue. And so people are like going, oh, DC has forbade a lesbian wedding, and it's even cost them the writer, da-da-da. And, yeah, it's not that DC forbade a lesbian wedding. Let's not toss out something that isn't true. DC forbade a wedding. It doesn't matter if it's gay, straight, or whatever. DC and Marvel both have gone on record as stating that they find married couples to be limited plot-wise and not as interesting as single characters. Marvel does have the Fantastic Four with Reed and Sue Richards. They're married. There's a couple others, but pretty much anybody, like Peter Parker got married, they annulled that so thoroughly because they thought that, oh my God, we don't have any stories to tell, even though they've been telling stories for like about 5-10 years with him being married. DC is even worse about it right now. Now that they rebooted their universe, they basically got rid of Clark Kent and Lois Lane's marriage. Barry Allen, the Flash, he'd been married for like 20, 30 years, okay? My reading knowledge of Barry Allen is him as a married man. And they rebooted the universe, and him and Iris aren't even seeing each other. DC has 2 married couples, and one of them apparently there's a question mark on. And that is, they have Animal Man, and they have Aquaman and his wife Mara. Well, Buddy, who's Animal Man, his isn't in question, but Mara and Aquaman has become a question mark whether or not they're actually even married, or whether they will stay married. DC and Marvel don't like marriages. They think it's limiting. While I understand that logic-wise, many of these characters would probably never get married, or at least not while they're still actively superheroing. Still, this is an incredible percentage. I've always disagreed with them on the idea that a married couple is not as dramatically interesting plot-wise as a single couple, as a single one. A single one, yeah, you got him dating, and you got him like finding a new love interest, and you got, oh my God, is he going to date Betty or Veronica? La 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 la. That's nice. Married, you have, where were you all last night? I know that the Riddler was out there, and I was worried about you. Oh, by the way, our in-laws are coming over. I've never bothered to tell them that you're the amazing pack rat man. So we need to figure out a way to hide all this stuff. And hey, was that like the Scarlet Spinster woman who was like trying to hit on you? What's up with you and her? Why have you told her that you're married? I mean, I can go on and on. Oh, by the way, I think I'm pregnant. You know, I don't know why they think that married couples are plot-wise limiting. It seems to me that when they're married, you've actually increased the number of plot lines. But I'm not a comic book writer. I would like to write comic books. And admittedly, the ones I would like to write don't involve married couples, but I don't have anything against married couples. I think it's ludicrous that they say that married couples are not as interesting. Oh, and by the way, I know that it was a big deal a while back when North Star married his boyfriend. And therefore, why would DC do this, ban this, when Marvel went ahead and did it like a year or two ago and had their gay wedding? Big difference. Batwoman has her own comic book. She's a title character, not getting married. North Star is part of a team. He's never been a title character. Okay? One time he had a 4-issue limited series and that's it. He's always been part of a team, and you can get him married off and then just decide he quit the team and you don't have to deal with him anymore. I mean, he's not even one of the most popular members on that team, except for with certain people. Okay? He's not one of the ones that people think of, oh yeah, he's like one of the X-Men. No, he's an X-Men. And especially as a supporting cast character in the X-Men, it's easy to just kill off his boyfriend eventually. Okay, they haven't been married that long. It won't be surprising if one gets killed off, or if the boyfriend gets killed off, or actually I guess husband, or they get divorced or whatever. Okay, it's North Star. No one really cares. And I mean that as far as sales-wise. If his boyfriend dies, or if his husband dies, or if they write him out or whatever, sales will not be affected. The writers won't even notice that he's gone. Batwoman getting married, not because she's a lesbian, but they're afraid that sales will be affected because it'll alienate all the single people who read their comic books, and it won't be as interesting, and therefore they'll lose other customers because they're now producing a less interesting comic book because their hands have been tied plot-wise. Just telling you how they're going to defend it. Again, I don't agree with it. I think it's bullshit. But it's not homophobia. Even the writers who quit acknowledge it's not homophobia. This is DC policy. This is Marvel policy. This is comic book company policy. So, that said, I am absolutely no fun this week, am I? So, I have been, while packing stuff, like unearthing all sorts of interesting things that oh, here's where that is. So I guess eventually we may actually even have like fodder for a whole bunch of good episodes of the podcast. But right now, I do want to thank you all for being there. I haven't been ignoring everything. Our numbers are good. Actually went up, and I mean, even during a last-minute thing, you guys have all stayed around, and I thank you for that. You're our silent little support group. We do welcome comments, but at the same time, just you guys being there and being there week after week after week is great. And at this moment, thanks, especially. Normally, this is where I would try to pimp out stuff, including myself, but not going to do that this week. I'm just going to end on a thank you. I'm going to miss this all, but I guess we're starting something new. Something new that's sucking up all our money and I can't afford anything, and if anybody wants to hand me a big bunch of money, Yay, thank you, because I don't know how we're affording this move, but that's other. I don't know how anyone affords any move ever. It's incredibly expensive. But again, thank you, and we will be back. I'm thinking probably in 2 weeks. So stick around, and I guess that's it. Bye for now.
There's a lady living somewhere. Where it is I do not know, but I long to write and tell her that I love her so. I believe I might do mayhem, yes, I might destroy myself if I ever found her missing from my grocer's shelf. Sarah Lee, Sarah Lee, your brioche just fractures me. Give me a taste of your cherry Danish. I love my mother, but you can't compare her, not with Sarah Lee. Sarah Lee, there's no H, just Sarah. Lee, and that's okay by me, 'cause I'm living in paradise when I'm nibbling on apple spice from the kitchens of the one I love, wonderful Sarah Lee. And it thrills me right to my soul when I'm chewing your finger roll. And I'm crying, for goodness sake, there's never been a better banana cake. My cousin Milton, he works at the Hilton. He caters banquets, and at each affair he'll swear by I really know what you mean. Honey, those brownies are obscene. Drop that H, say Sarah Lee, and that's okay by me. I love your cheesecake white as pearl, and not to mention your chocolate swirl from the kitchens of the one I love, wonderful Sarah, beautiful Sarah, Sarale, Sarah.
So, like I said, thank you all. It's probably going to be about 2 weeks before we're back. Oh, in case you're curious, that song was Sarah Lee by Candor and Ebb, as done by yours truly. Because I just didn't want to try to fight copyright stuff right now so much, and I think that one should get through fairly easily on YouTube. But I'm giving credit where credit is due. That's Candor and Ebb, and it's actually the Music -1 version of the song, and like I said, yours truly doing it. Wish us luck. We're trying to get this done. So without any further ado, I thank you all, and we'll catch you guys very soon. Well, not very soon, as I said, but
hopefully sooner than later. Thank you.